Okay, guys, we will be live in just a minute. Got this streaming to YouTube as well. If you're watching the YouTube replay, just fast forward a minute or two as we get past some housekeeping and get the session launched here. For those of you who are here live, maybe for the first time, just know you can chat in anytime you want in the little chat widget right there, and we'll do our best to get to your questions. Let's see. We got Kelly here. I wonder if Annalisa's around. I don't see Annalisa. You there, Annalisa? She'll probably be here in a minute.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, you don't have to come live. I just noticed you as a host there, so I was looking for Annalisa, but you're welcome to chime in as we go.
I thought I'd just sort of be a fly in the background and fly on the wall. But if you need me, I'm here. I'll keep an eye on the chat box for you.
For sure. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, we'll get started, guys. The topic today, well, first, let me take a step back. This is one of our next level sessions. We've been doing these at 12 noon. 9 PST for about 6 months now since we launched Next Level. And this is the first in this series at our new time. So we've switched the time to 4 p.m. East, 1 Pacific to kind of accommodate some people and just kind of switch things up. I will mention that these sessions, you can know when they're happening and when all of our other training stuff is happening, including great sessions from Kelly, who you just heard, on our main kvCORE training calendar. And that calendar is accessible from the top right of your kvCORE dashboard. So all of our live events like these, you can find them there. This session, as well as many of our others, are recorded. You can find those on the YouTube channel at insiderealestate.com/YouTube. This one is being streamed and instantly recorded. If you are watching the replay, do us a favor, smash the like button, as the kids like to say these days, and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see this content pop up in your stream. So as this is a next level session, and as it's the new time, what I was hoping to do today was to kind of get back to the basics of what we talk about in Next Level. And at the core of what you'll find in the members area, if you're a member, is this thing called the growth systems section, the growth systems builder. And really, growth systems is just maybe a term that I regret coming up with, but it's just a fancy or a different way of saying marketing funnel. A lot of us have probably heard that term. Basically, it's an internet marketing world. Most businesses have some kind of funnel. And when we talk about growth systems, what we're talking about is building yourself something that's mostly automated, that reliably brings fresh business fresh leads, conversations, and business into your fold. So in the members area, you can find a lot of the supplemental info about the things I'm going to talk about today in here. And I thought it just might be cool today to kind of re-record and launch this fresh series by going through this content again and talking about what we mean by building one of these growth systems, and specifically addressing the components inside of kvCORE that will help you build a modern marketing funnel. So the topic here, how to build yourself a kvCORE based real estate growth system that keeps your database filled with new leads. And I think this is important, conversations that lead to closings. The whole goal of all of this is to get people talking to you about real estate. We can only bring people that far for you. And then from there, it's your skills as a salesperson and the other skills that you know in order to turn those conversations into closings. You've got to go find the real estate, find the houses, do the showings and everything else. So I like to stress this part, how to build yourself a system that will generate those conversations and lead to closings. All right, housekeeping real quick. You might get a fire hose today. I tend to move a little quick. Just know you will have the replay. You can slow me down on YouTube by using the little gear at the bottom right of the YouTube player. Do ask questions in the chat. I'll get to them. Kelly's going to help out if she can. And then if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to comment. Just let us know if you have any questions and we will get to you there as well. If not right away, later on today when we see your comments. So
okay, I made it. Hi.
Okay, good. All right, now we can get started. Annalisa's here.
Seriously, you guys, I can't believe you left without me.
All right, Annalisa's here, so she'll be helping out in the comments. So let's get to the premise here. The premise is that you might never be able to fully automate the belly-to-belly stuff that gets commission checks flowing into your mailbox. We all know technology can't sell houses. You've got to do that. But you can definitely create a system that auto-magically gets a consistent flow of people talking to you about real estate. And whoa, did it happen? Look, just so you guys know, if you put a hyphen between auto and magically, Annalisa, spell checker turns off. So that must be the right way to spell auto-magically.
You must add hyphens all the time. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know why that works. But anyway, you can create yourself a system that gets a consistent flow of people talking about you and keep repeating that idea. That's very important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so our real estate growth system is a set of components that work together to get people talking to you about buying, selling real estate. Okay. You ready, Annalisa? You missed the best part, the intro. So you came just in time. We're gonna jump on in.
And I have my Thor speech ready to slow you down, like sun's getting real low. Hey,
good.
Buddy. Yeah,
okay.
So
I'll
be ready.
slow down a little. So here are the 2 activity types that will go into your growth system. We like to separate these out into, and inside the members area, you'll kind of notice that they're kind of separated out that way too. First, we're going to have generating leads. And then we're going to have causing conversations. So we'll talk about things such as choosing a customer and property type, creating a lead generation offer, creating a lead capture point, getting traffic to your capture point. And then on the causing conversation side, this is going to be sort of the automated things that kvCORE can do for you, configuring automated property alerts, conversation starting, smart campaigns, and then some non-automated things like retargeting or sending something cool every week that you may need to get into. So let's jump into the generating leads here and talk about this idea where we're going to start is to identify a customer and or a property type, basically niching down your business for the purposes of building your funnel. So just because you come up with sort of a niche or a focus around a customer or property type doesn't mean you're excluding all the other business out there. It's just giving your marketing a focus. So some instant advantages differentiate you from thousands of other agents in your market. There are so many licensees these days, but not many are putting kind of a line in the sand and saying, hey, this is what I do specifically. I'm a specialist. And it helps you focus your lead generation and conversion. And again, here the note, just because you have a focus doesn't mean you're excluding other business. So what does this mean, choosing a customer or property type? Well, you can kind of mix and match the different ideas that I have on the screen here. And I've probably forgotten 5 times as many as I've listed here. But some of the common ones that our next level members are using and other kvCOREs are using are customer types such as first-time buyers, move-up buyers, investors, first-time investors, seasoned investors, people who are relocating, downsizing. And then we have our seller usual suspects, the FSBOs, the expireds, which is general farming, and then recruiting. If you happen to be looking for new and seasoned real estate agents, you can use kvCORE to recruit as well with all the tools that are baked in. And then you would have these property types in the right column there that would kind of appeal to these customer types. So you might offer, for example, a list of starter homes or new construction properties, condos, multi-unit, single-family rentals, land fixer-uppers, pre-foreclosures, bank-owned, motivated sellers, homes with acreage, waterfront, golf course, properties with views, homes in school districts, and luxury. So just on the screen here, this is meant to give you some ideas, not to overwhelm you. One of the things that frequently happens when I talk to people about niching down, they usually say, well, I'd like to do downsizing buyers, first-time investors, and this school district. And people try to attack 3 or 4 things at once. And I'm just going to ask you to try to keep in mind that you want to go after one thing. Think about some segment of the market that you really enjoy working with. Maybe it's starter homes and first-time buyers, or maybe you're an expert on the new construction market, or you want to become an expert on all the new builds in your area. So you say, hey, I'm just going to be the new construction person. So think about this before you dive in and start taking action. What do you really want to focus on, and it'll really serve you well. The slides will be provided to you. And in fact, I made a mistake here. I did have a special link at the end that I can share with you guys now. If you want to follow along, it's this link should take you to the slide. I'll put it in the chat. So if you do want to follow along the slides, just don't get too distracted. But yes, they'll be provided, and they will be in the YouTube video later today. We'll put them in the description as well if you want to follow along. So that's our customer and property types. Think about your niche. Once you've got the niche focus kind of nailed down, you're going to need to create an offer that attracts those people around those property types. So I'm going to give you some examples here. We talk about these all the time. The easiest kind of no-brainer way to do this with kvCORE or with an IDX website is to simply offer a list of properties. So an example might be homes in York, PA, County, PA, with 3+ acres of land. New construction in Tampa, Florida. Land for sale, in Chicago. If the link doesn't work, probably my fault. Apologies. I will get this link fixed immediately when we get off. I just created it this morning. I created a forward, and it most likely has to do with system PDF.
Did you break the sound of speed when you were making it because you were typing so fast?
No, the issue is that when I wrote it in the slides, I know exactly what I did. When I put it in the slides, I used capitalization, and it is case sensitive for some reason, that link. So I just gave you the raw link there in the chat. So I'll fix this here, or just make it so it works both ways. So so creating a lead generation offer, the easiest thing is just offer a list of properties, but don't just offer something generic. Try to be a little more interesting about it, like starter homes priced under 300K with 2 or more bedrooms, things like that. You could also offer listing info. So you can just use specific listings, have a landing page around that listing, or run our property boost ad from the kvCORE marketplace. And that would be a lead generation offer that can get leads flowing into your fold. So you say, hey, I'm focused on new construction and I'm gonna run property boost only for new construction ads, listings, for example. You could do a free report or video. This is a little bit harder, a little bit more work. We recently did a webinar about a forbearance video that we created. We also have some content in Next Level, the Next Level members area, about doing webinars and events, which could also be another way that you could do this. Just like the webinar you're sitting on now, you could do a step-by-step, sorry about that, step-by-step how to acquire your first cash flowing income property in Pinellas County and manage it with as little stress as possible. That would be an example of a title. And of course, with real estate, there's 10, 20, hundreds of different events and webinars that you can do. First time buyer, first time investor, how to downsize, how to upsize, things like that. And then another event is the most common one that we all probably do is open houses. So you could use open houses as your way to get leads flowing into your fold. So up till now, we've talked just a little bit about the setup, the theory. You kind of got to know what kind of lead you want to generate. You're niching down. You're thinking about what your offer is going to be. And at this point, this is where some of the tools that are baked into kvCORE can come into play. So we'll start, one of the big ones, the most popular ones, is a landing page or a squeeze page link offering a free weekly list of properties, as we just mentioned. So I have some screenshots here or some specific examples. So here is a very simple kvCORE landing page. It simply offers St. Pete, Florida fixer-uppers and foreclosures get a free weekly list. Even simple pages like this can convert really well. And if you go into kvCORE, they're very easy to build. In case you don't already know, you can go to Lead Engine right here on the left side, click Build Landing Page from the navigation, and just start sort of typing in fields right here, free weekly list, and you can build yourself out a page. Now, we don't have a lot of time to drill very deep. We have lots of other content both in the members area and in the help desk for kvCORE about how to build these pages. But basically, say I wanted to do new construction, I would just put my new construction hashtag up in the top left here. I could say see the list now for my submit button. My URL after login would be a direct link to that list of properties. So I would go into kvCORE and I would create a link to a list of those properties. The place to do that is under Build Squeeze page here. Now, Annalisa, I know I'm going quick, but I think the purpose here is broad strokes, but just slow me down if I should drill deeper on any of these.
That's a good pace. I like it.
Okay, good. So basically, the landing page is going to offer the list of properties. So I would put that here. I'm just going to do link properties up here just for example's sake. And then we can choose backgrounds. So I have my new construction background, or you can insert your own background, custom if you want. And basically I get rid of my bullet points generally. And just like that, I can quickly new construction builds. I can quickly build out my landing page like that using kvCORE. Now, the cool thing is, of course, that this hashtag that I put up at the top left here, this can be used to trigger some automation on the follow-up side, on the cause and conversation side of things that we'll talk about in a minute. But just keep in mind that all of your sources, as they come in, you should be trying to have a hashtag or a source attached so that kvCORE can do its automation. In this case, the landing page does that out of the box. So that's one example. We'll just show a few other landing pages very quickly here. Here's an open house page, hopefully. So I know this is a screenshot, but it's very simple, but this works. And keep in mind, in a lot of cases, people are gonna be landing on these pages, are gonna be viewing them on mobile, and they're gonna have seen an ad somewhere else. So they're already kind of pre-sold on the idea. The last step is for them to just come put their email in and continue. Open houses, and then here's that 3+ acres idea. Hopefully this is still live. Yep, just like that. And you notice we got an animated image in the background there. You can do that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's an animated GIF.
Yep. So those are some landing pages. The other thing you can do is text codes.
Ooh, my favorite.
Yes. Yeah. And they're very underutilized in my opinion. They're actually really powerful. And one of the coolest things about using our smart number text codes with kvCORE is that you get a real cell number every time. So let's go and look at one of these. I'll show you my home value text code. We're going to find that under lead engine.
Yep.
Call capture. Right here.
And I'm putting links out to everyone on the general information on landing pages, custom text codes. You'll see them in the chat and on the responses on YouTube and Facebook.
Awesome. Yep. So let's look here. I've got a bunch that I've built over time, but here's my home value report, for example. So if somebody texts home value report, they'll get a quick reply back that says, hi, thanks for requesting your value report. What's the address of the property? That would be an example of a quick reply. You'll notice here that you can hashtag that person as they come in to create some other automation, automated steps that happen. A smart campaign can be triggered. So that would be it for seller leads. You do home value report.
Keep in mind, when you're using a custom text code, you're generally going to get a tracked call text lead, right? So you can build a smart campaign in to trigger off of that hashtag, but it would need to be a text response, right? So if you're going to build a campaign, make sure it's a text response and not an email.
Got it. And I think we'll show that in a minute when we get to the smart campaigns. It's a really good point.
Yeah.
So here's an example where we're offering a property list. So our custom code is foreclosures. And then we've set a reply link right here. It says, here's that Pinellas foreclosures list. And then a kind of little tip here is you give the content that they asked for. You saw me do this with the seller angle.
Yep.
So I give the content, but then I ask a question to try to get them talking to me. Just curious, are you thinking about buying an investment property sometime soon? Just to get them talking to you again, the conversation concept. So these text codes, you can build as many as you want inside of kvCORE. Just know that if your text code is already taken by another agent in your office who's using that smart number, it won't be able to be created again. You basically own the text code once you create it, and all those leads come directly to you.
Yep.
Cool. So text codes are another way to create a lead capture point. Here's an example of a landing page offering a PDF report. Remember, I said one of the ways that you could have a lead capture offer is to offer a report. So how to buy your first fixer-upper and finance cost of repairs is an example report that was built using a landing page. And then just for example's sake here, say you went the webinar route, you guys all registered for this webinar at some point by filling out a Zoom registration link. And just know that you could use Zoom or any number of other webinar platforms, and you could push those leads into kvCORE. So you would almost be using that webinar platform as your landing page to get leads in. And out of all the options I just mentioned, trust me, this is the most powerful. And the reason it's most powerful is because as people are watching your webinar content, they are getting to know, like, and trust you.
Right.
So just like you guys, a lot of you guys know who Annalisa and I are, even though we may not have had any conversations, you're familiar with us. So the first time we talk, you kind of feel familiar with us. You can have the same effect with your audience if you kind of commit yourself to learning this whole webinar game. So this would be the one I say, hey, if you're really looking to kill it and really, really do well, come up with a webinar, create a webinar, and start delivering it. Even if it's painful and hard at first, this is the one that's going to pay the biggest dividends, in my opinion. But I'm biased. I've kind of built my whole career around this idea, right, Annalisa?
A little bit.
Yeah. All right. So, and then the last option here, just another example, is Facebook lead generation form ads. And this is the methodology that we use actually most often, probably right now. Our Property Boost and Facebook lead products inside the kvCORE marketplace work off these. And the reason we love them is that they work awesomely. They collect a name, email, phone that Facebook has on file. And that sets the stage for you to really have success on the follow-up. If you really have a good cell number, and then kvCORE's automations can take over, it does really well. So I'm just trying to bring up, I went to the wrong PPC link here. Oops, force of habit. I just want to show you guys one of these. I'm pretty sure most people watching are familiar, but we'll just show an example of one of these Facebook lead form ads here. And also maybe by way of kind of just an example of one of these growth systems in action, I'll show you an example campaign that's been running in the local market. This is our waterfront campaign, 852 leads since February at $229 a lead.
Ooh, that's looking,
right.
That's shaping up nice.
Yeah, with a very high volume of conversations back and forth between the agents in the local market. So lots of clients, lots of stuff happening right there. So this is to give you an idea. You can scale these campaigns and get lots of activity both for yourself and for an entire team the way that it's happening here at Forever Florida in the local market. So here's the ad that's running. Whoops. I'll go to the ad section. Well, it looks like I had a split test. So you'll see this is pretty niche down. Pinellas County waterfront homes. I know this might be small on your screen, but Pinellas County waterfront homes priced from. This is kind of our template here. We've talked about what the niche home search is, what the price range is, with some numbers, and then we use Facebook's video builder here to create the ad. And then when somebody clicks, let's see if I can bring this up, do Facebook posts with comments so that I can show you guys the experience of the end user. Give me a second here for it to load. But when it clicks, it brings up a form inside of Facebook, like so. And if it wasn't my own ad account, my own demo ad, it would have my information pre-filled here. That's what the consumer experience is. And then they click next and go through. So again, think about this. This is like Facebook's version of a landing page inside Facebook, just like the landing pages you can build with kvCORE. And right now, these are very powerful. We don't know how long that'll last for. Facebook's always messing with these, and we definitely want to stay diversified and have other lead sources. But right now, these are probably the cheapest, most efficient way to generate leads. And that is why we definitely are using this objective for the Property Boost product, which is really popular with kvCORE. So that's the last example here in our slides. I'm sure there are others I've missed, but these are kind of examples of lead capture points that you would build. Now, you could use them. Let's say that you are focused on fixers and foreclosures. You might have a landing page, a text code, and a Facebook lead generation form. Plus, you might be doing a webinar about how to buy your first fixer-upper. So you can use them within your niche. You can use them all together. Just the idea would be don't worry about creating them all at the same time. Just build out one at a time, get it working, and then add more layers to your funnel. And inside the next level members area, we at this point we have specific examples of almost all of these, including I believe the full build of that waterfront system that I was just showing you step by step. As I created that ad, it was all shown in the members area. So anybody watching, you could follow that and apply what I do there with the waterfront to any niche you want. Starting
and
right
just as an addition to that, I do have a tutorial I'm going to drop in for everyone. It's like the kvCORE, the trifecta of lead gen tool usage, and it shows you how to create a landing page, a squeeze page, and a custom text code and link them all together or separate. So I think that'll help as well.
Yeah, and I'll definitely get that in the slides too. Annalise said that right after. Yep. But yeah, you can see here in the members area in the waterfront growth system build section here, kind of walks through all the steps. Okay, so that's the creation of our lead capture point. Now that once we've got it built, the thing that's going to capture the lead, now we're going to start to drive traffic. We're going to get eyeballs coming to that page so that they can convert and become a lead. So pay-per-click ads, I've got some more screenshots here. So we're all familiar with Google ads for the most part, I think, but here's a screenshot of a condo focused ad priced from 39K to 2 million. And then when somebody clicks this, they go over to your kvCORE website and then they're prompted to register. We just kind of showed off a Facebook ad. I'll show off another one here. So Virginia Beach area starter homes. I realize it's a little blurry, but again, that priced from, and you can see here, this one had nice comments on it. And that ad is still running, Annalise. That's probably about a year old now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it brings up a good point too. Once you have one of these funnels built, you can
once it works, don't mess with it.
Yeah, don't mess with it. You can turn the budget up and down if you want, whether you want more or less leads, but you can kind of let them run for a long time. And you can also do YouTube, Instagram, other channels. Basically, anywhere there's traffic, you can run an ad. Here's one I did earlier this year, kind of goofing off. But basically,
that was a fun one.
Yeah, it's just a video running on YouTube. And then it has, I basically say in the video, hey, text home value report to this number to get your house value now. So you could run something like that on YouTube, use YouTube as your traffic source. You also have direct mail. Show one of those.
And then the carrier pigeon from like April.
And the carrier pigeon from Celexa, yep.
Yeah.
So here's an example of a just sold card. Now we all do just sold, just listed cards, pretty standard real estate stuff, but you can integrate in this example, you can see the integration of the kvCORE text response code right there, text value report 2 to get a free detail report. So you can start to mix in the technology with even older school sources of traffic like direct mail.
Oh, do you have a sign writer on there? You don't.
I don't. Oh, oops. Oh, very good. Sign writers.
That's like
Definitely.
A huge one.
Yeah, definitely. Get those text codes on your sign writers for sure. Get 2. You can actually do 2. You can do a text code for them to see price and pics of that property. And then you can have a second writer that takes them to your general landing page, something like my 727 real estate deals for fixers and foreclosures. You can kind of cascade them in your riders. So newspaper print, Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, billboards, TV ads, bobblehead dolls, which is one of my favorites. On the back of your business cards, you can put a URL or text capture code. It doesn't really matter. Just anywhere that eyeballs are, the name of the game is for you to then take that traffic and divert it into your capture point.
Well, and the billboards is especially interesting to me, because you've got people who are driving back and forth to work all the time down some corridor. But if you're in an area where people are going to be purchasing maybe a summer cottage, or they're looking to go to the coast, right, to get out of town it's only an hour and a half away, put your billboard there and put in that link to those cottages. Text this to get that, and get people dreaming about having that getaway.
Yeah,
those are ways you can really engage with folks.
Yeah, oceancountyvacationhomes.com or something like that on the Jersey Shore, whatever you might be doing.
Text fist pump to my smart number.
Yeah, definitely. So I put in a link to Sanzo Specialties. I always plug them when I bring up these bobblehead business cards.
Those are great, though.
Yeah. So what you would do is you put your text code on the back of your business card, place them at pizza shops the way I used to do, or at bars. And it's a nice free way. That's an example of getting traffic that isn't digital, but you're taking those eyeballs who are sitting at the bar having a beer. They're flipping the card around saying, oh, this is cute. And then they see a URL that leads them through a kvCORE landing page. And
that reminds me of something. I was at the grocery store yesterday in a town where I'm house sitting. And when I walked in, the little kiosk next to the carts was sponsored by a mortgage and realtor. And it was unlimited paper towels and sanitizing stuff like wipes and gel. And it was their station they sponsored. And I took a picture. I'm gonna have to post a picture for everybody, but I was like, this is amazing. And I think they also were sponsoring like things to help clean the handle for like if you have a baby, or like things like that, where you can make sure your cart's ready to go.
You mean on the shopping cart itself?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it was on the cart, but I'm just saying when you walked in, there was like a 6 foot by a foot kiosk that had the thing of the hand sanitizer. It had the wipes, and it had their information, and it had text codes. I forgot all about that until just now, but that's another new way of resonating with folks as well. Watching out for your community health and safety is a big one.
For sure. So you're going to tie that in with the actual traffic source or the element. The shopping carts I always forget about. The park benches here in Pinellas County drive me insane. A lot of realtors, I don't know if anybody listening is from here, but you'll notice every realtor on a park bench, all they do is they give their phone number. There's no compelling Dan Kennedy.
Why would I call you?
So if it was their picture, but it was like, hey, text foreclosures to, or text fixers to this number, they're going to get much more ROI from their advertising than they would without it. So get traffic to your capture point. Okay, so what we've talked about so far, I'm going to go back to the first slide here where we took the 2 activity types. We just covered the generating leads part of building these growth systems. And it might seem like a lot to do, but really, if you go through each section one at a time, you could have built out your lead generation funnel in probably an hour, maybe 2 hours if you're not super fast. But if you just chose one of the example of each element and you kind of focused on it, it's not very difficult to do. The next part, now that you're going to have leads flowing in, and I forgot a big one. Now that you're going to have leads flowing in is going to be causing conversations. So now we're going to get into the stuff that kvCORE does automatically. But the one thing I wanted to mention at the end of this traffic and catcher point stuff is just remind everybody that in the kvCORE marketplace, we kind of have some easy buttons that will just get this stuff done. right?
Right.
We have the Google PPC. It's under the leads section. Google PPC. Get Seller Leads is a new one. We have managed Google, Facebook AI advertising and retargeting. So these aren't super niche down, but if you want a way to get leads flowing into your kvCORE system in a specific geographic area, these will do very well. And of course, Property Boost will do it around specific listings. And then, so if you don't want to do all the work to build all the things I just talk about, use those easy buttons. And then from there, as we transition into the causing conversation elements, you'll have leads coming in that can be worked by the technology I'm about to tell you about. So,
ooh, Monica says, I love bobbleheads. Sometimes I leave my cards on the holder, and other companies remove my card and put their card in there. Maybe you should collect those and have some visits. I have a feeling if I had a bobblehead card holder, that would stop it from happening. It's potentially there, or maybe some shock therapy.
for sure. For sure. And the fun part about these, you can clip a picture of yourself and slide it in. That's the funniest part.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
It's more personalized. And you're gonna be like, no. And it could be like, don't even think about it, and have its fingers start wagging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or like a recording, make it voice animated.
Don't you do it.
You gotta evolve these card holders. Okay, leads are coming in now. We did all this stuff to generate some leads. We got traffic source and our lead capture points, and all this stuff is happening. And leads are coming into kvCORE. And honestly, when I look at a lot of kvCORE accounts, I don't really see too much of a problem with leads coming in. It seems that we are able to either figure out to do it ourselves, or we're able to push buttons and have leads flow in from either kvCORE Marketplace, or we can use third-party sources like, dare I say, Zillow or Realtor.com. There's getting the leads in is easy. The big mistake I see people make is that they kind of don't fully leverage the tools that kvCORE offers in order to make sure that those leads are turned into conversations. So I'm going to walk you through a few things here that you're going to want to do for every lead source that you have coming in, starting with the most important, hands down one, in my opinion, search alerts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just know that inside of kvCORE, let's go back into kvCORE. You were there somewhere. If you go under marketing, all marketing here.
Yep.
And you click on search alerts. kvCORE has the ability to automatically set up an alert based on a hashtag coming in. So for any lead source that you're paying money for, or that you're putting in blood, sweat, and tears for, even if you're knocking on doors, and handing out flyers, or you're doing open houses and there's a call to action on the back of your open house flyer, whatever it might be, make sure that there is an alert set up and attach that funnel. So setting these up is very easy. I could say, hey, anytime the hashtag land comes in, I just pick the area that I was offering. So if I was offering Pinellas County land, I choose my listing type land, and I set the frequency of the alert, once weekly, daily, and I can click and add the alert just like that. So this is a very easy, you saw me just do it in about a minute, 30 seconds. If you do this, what you've basically done is built a drip campaign, right? A long-term drip campaign that is actually relevant and that people will want to get, because all it does is send people real estate information related to the real estate information that they initially opted in for. So if you're not already doing search alerts automated for every source, do that. Start doing that today, and you'll see your results go up. Another thing related to this is the idea of building out a smart filter up at the top here in your smart CRM, pinning a filtered link up here. And I actually put in the group yesterday a quick video about how to do this. But you can see here I have my has no alerts filter.
Yep.
So maybe have a recurring appointment with yourself in your calendar that says, hey, check my entire database and look for people who have no alerts going out, and spend a half hour adding some alerts to people. They always do sneak through.
And there's a super easy way to identify those too, via your business analytics.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if you click on business analytics, there's a section in there called kvCORE activity.
Okay.
And then on the far right is unengaged leads. It'll show you no search alerts, no market reports, no active campaigns, and unsubs. And you can click on the little blue arrow next to those numbers, and the system will automatically bring up that list for you.
Yeah. If
you save it as a filter, it's just going to be a live list that people will pop into if they don't have that certain thing set up. And as you set them up, they fall off the list. So it's an active list you're working on.
So I can, how do I save this once I click on it? Do I need to
You're
run
going
the
to click
filter
Save Filter at the bottom.
right here?
Yep.
Oh, because
You're
I've
gonna
already
name
run
it.
the search.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
ran the search when you click the business analytics. So you'll click Save it and name it.
Uh-huh.
Get her done. And then once you save it, you click the cog, right? And then you're going to click the little button to turn it on. So it's probably at the bottom. Is the button, the latest one's always at the bottom, and then you click add, and then it shows up as a shortcut across the top.
Yeah, right up top here.
Yeah, super handy. So, I mean, it's important to be like, okay, today I am going to take that 15 minutes and work through this many accounts to set up alerts. That way it's not like a chore. It's like 15 minutes. I'm going to get in there, I'm going to get it done and go to my next thing.
Yeah. One thing I noticed with this, which was really interesting, is I have my Google Contacts sync up.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a bunch of, I started seeing names of friends, people.
Oh,
I'm
but
like,
you
how did
did,
get
yeah.
in there? That's creepy, right? But
Because you synced, right?
I synced. But now, if I would take the time, these are people who a lot of these people live local. If I actually took the time and set them up for alerts near their houses, there's just money hanging out there.
Or market reports.
Yeah, or market reports based on their property.
Yeah.
But the fact that I would have never noticed that if I didn't have this has no alerts and check through it,
And for everybody wondering what the heck did he do to get them there, he went up and synced his Google. So he clicked on the little envelope right next to quick actions there. That one, yep. And what you do is you would sync your Google, your Gmail, and then you would be able to sync your contacts and have in your calendar sync and all that good stuff. So this is where you can handle that.
Yeah. I actually turned off my emails, but then I was able to turn on the contacts. I felt it was weird being able to see all my emails in there.
Yeah, I know, it weirded me out too, and I was like, no.
But so just know, if you don't want all your personal stuff kind of like landing in the dashboard there, a lot of times you're sharing with other people or whatever it might be. Then you can just sync only your contacts or calendar if you want. But you also do have the ability to check your email from within kvCORE.
Cool. And I'm sending the information on how to do this to everybody right now.
Great. What's up, Robo?
He just emailed us a photo. I think Robert was going to send us his popcorn ad so we can take a look at it as an example of like a custom text code.
Yeah, he was just telling me about that. We might dig into that later this week. All right, so let's keep going here and plowing through. But basically, configure automated property alerts. People are going to get emails about properties. I get them from myself, and I forward them to my wife, and she forwards them to her friends just organically. Even though I know what's going on, it's just the sort of thing that people will share and engage with. So definitely make sure people are getting property alerts. Next one is the big one, conversations starting smart campaigns. We probably talk about this a little too much, Annalisa, but if you do your
there such a thing as too much? Because it's important to conversate.
It's like my favorite topic, but there is a way to build kvCORE smart campaigns that will get people talking to you at a reliable kind of rate. And we've done whole webinars about this. In fact, there's a whole webinar in the slides linked from right here that I'll copy to everybody watching live. But basically, the idea behind these is that they are quick little 7 to 14, maybe even 30-day campaigns that get people talking to you. Let's go into one. And this is in kvCORE under Marketing Smart Campaigns. And we'll go right into our waterfront homes one. This one has generated all those 800 leads I was showing you a minute ago. The last I looked, 32% of people were replying back to that campaign. So
that's a really good percentage.
Yeah, really good. Now they don't all, say they want to buy a house. A lot of them say, no, leave me alone, or, next year I'm not ready yet. But the example script here, and you can learn more about these scripts and kind of how we do it both in the next level members area and in that webinar. But it's basically, hi, thanks for doing the thing you just did. Hi, thanks for looking at waterfront properties on my website a few minutes ago. And then an open-ended question. Are you actively looking for property in Pinellas County? So it starts with a text. We do the same thing via email, basically give them the list that they just opted in for, just let them, and just invite them to reply back. A little task for the agent to set up property alerts, attempt phone call. We attempt to go for a listing right here. Just curious, do you currently own a house in the area? Knowing that a lot of the leads coming in might already own a house. On day 5, forgetting a quick link to all upcoming open houses. So you're providing a little more value. Day 7, check in. And then I did a video this morning about, you'll notice here, a transition to longer term follow-up. And I don't have it in this one, but basically you can set a hashtag that will then take people over to a longer term follow-up campaign.
Right.
So
and just a couple of questions. Some people were looking, hey, what is the mastermind group and how much is it after the 7 days? So if you go into your kvCORE dashboard, into the marketplace, you'll click on the coaching tool at the top right. And then you'll see next level mastermind, and you get access free for 7 days. And that's everything Ryan and I create together along with our training team. And we drop in content, but you get that free for 7, then it's $19 a month.
Yeah. And you're going to get a lot of sessions like these, but you're also going to get a lot of the supplemental resources that we talk about. Like,
right.
Not to turn this into a big long sales switch, but for example, that foreclosure video I hinted at, that's sitting in the members area, and you could just use that email scripts and things of that nature. So.
And the different growth-based systems, like the different luxury and new construction, the forbearance and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So specific examples of these things are in there. So the smart campaigns are critical. Alongside your property alerts, you're going to want to have a short campaign designed to get people to talk to you. And then recently, we've done a lot of work around a longer term campaign, which should be available to everybody soon. I've been pestering the product team, but we have a lot of campaigns in the kvCORE library. And I've also recently built a 1-year campaign that kind of gives away other content that's on YouTube. So
other people's stuff.
Other people's stuff. So let's see, what was that one? Buyer. Oops, my campaigns. But it's not really, you can build your own campaign. The idea here is that you want to do that quick, short one. Then you're going to transition people into a longer term campaign that just kind of keeps reminding them that you exist. And the best thing you could do there is try to be unique, try to give original content, try not to copy and paste stuff, that everybody else is doing.
Right.
So as you create blog posts, as you do your webinars and you have recordings, you're going to add those to your campaigns. So let me show this one. Just for example's sake, you'll see this one goes out probably once every week in the beginning, and then it spreads out and it goes 365 days. And a lot of what we're doing here, just as a kind of tip, is a couple of little tips like how to find motivated sellers. But then as it goes along, it starts to link out to third-party stuff. Like here's one that links out to a Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki video.
Right
there. So, but just longer term smart campaign, you have tons of automation options with kvCORE. Remember also that you can integrate kvCORE with voicemail, so you can automatically send voicemails to your leads. You can also do core video, so you can send actual videos within your campaigns. And all of this live media type stuff, like what you're doing with Annalisa and I here today, will help people, will enable them to know, like, and trust you and build rapport. The more different ways they can hear your voice and see your face, the better. So,
and I was thinking when you were linked out to that Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? Is that what it was? I mean, to me, I would create a blog and embed that video in my blog and then link people to my site.
That sounds like work.
I know.
No, that's actually the right way to do this.
But I mean, that would be the way of like throwing the boomerang and having it come back and not hit you in the face, right? So
you're 1,000% right. That's a great point. So I have it like this, I have it like this.
This works great, but I'm just saying you could do it a different way.
Well, I have it like this because I was trying to build it so it could be copied for everybody to use.
I know.
But you are 1,000% right. That is the
I know that too. No, I'm kidding.
That is the right way to do it. So if you're basically curating other people's content from your smart campaigns, this link should go to a blog post with it embedded inside.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks for bringing that up, though.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And I do want to give a shout out here because Hector, he's doing a great job hanging, man. He's like, it's my first time here. This is a lot. It's a bit. I'm adjusting. So I'm so glad you're here, Hector, and decided to give us a visit. Anybody else that's new, thank you for being here. So awesome. And I should have said we'll call him Hector, so we don't really know it's Hector, right?
This is the fire hose, guys. I just want to remind everybody, if you are just getting started with kvCORE, definitely check out the Agent Success Plan.
Yeah.
Kelly, who's watching with us here today, she does a handful of sessions a week for each section of that plan.
She's so great too.
A little more intimate, a little bit more paced than what I'm doing here for the basics. So
yeah.
But the fire hose, there is some value. Just put this stuff in the back of your head. You don't have to get to it all right now, but just know you can come back to it later, and it's kind of just giving you a surface tour of what's possible. Yep.
And then Jimmy's asking, which ones does Kelly run? So Kelly, if you're out there, do you run the morning sessions, or are you doing both morning and afternoon now?
You know what? It depends. I primarily do the general sessions. I usually do the weeks 1 through 3. Occasionally I'll cover somebody and do a week 4, but if you go into the training calendar and you if you are searching for the review weeks 1, 2, 3, those are probably the ones that I'm going to be on the most.
Yeah.
But we have other trainers that also handle a couple of those other sessions as well. But if you are looking for something that's maybe a little bit more basic and getting started, you can always come and join me on one of those, because we cover some of the functionality of kvCORE, and we do go into like how to use landing pages and squeeze pages. We just take it down and we break it down a little bit more on a more basic level.
Maybe a garden hose instead
of not quite a fire hose. It's more of an open-ended, or
a nice sprinkling of knowledge.
Yeah, little like a raindrop. There you go.
All right, guys. I'm trying to squeeze it all in here. All right.
I know.
All right. So let's keep going. We got our conversation starting, smart campaigns. We got our property alerts, and then if you want to get really next level, a little more jiggy with it, then you're gonna delve into things that are a little more advanced, like retargeting. And retargeting is where somebody visits your website, they leave, and then you start to follow them around the web. So on the right side, you can see example of a retargeting ad. This is actually an example of what we do in the marketplace. There is a service for this called Google Display Retargeting. So you can check that out if you want to have it done for you. And then we also have a video example here in the slides. This is my friend Kylie. We did a series with her where she just sits in front of a camera and does a simple video. Thank you. Hey, thanks for visiting my website. Come on back anytime. If you have any questions about buying or selling real estate, get in touch with me.
Now, doesn't the Pro Agent branded pack also include that? It
does. Yeah. You'll see that option too in the marketplace as well. So I would say make sure you have the automated property alerts going. Make sure you have a good smart campaign going, and that you're getting some conversations with people, and then this is where you're going to get a little more advanced with your funnel. And you're going to say, okay, what else can I do to get people to know, like, and trust me and talk and conversate with me? And that's going to be retargeting, Facebook, Google, across multiple channels. So that's another component. And then finally, the last piece that'll really separate the ladies from the women. See what I did there?
Oh,
right. I'm learning from my wife and daughter. I'm getting lots of sense.
Well, they'll learn you of some lessons, I know.
Yeah. But the thing that will really really propel you and make sure you have success with all this is the idea that you're going to create and send something cool, in quotation marks. I think that's a Frank Kern, if anybody knows about him. He's an internet marketer. I think he calls it something else. It's got a little profanity in it, but he says send cool S, but send something cool once a week. And trust me, if you do get in the habit of actually creating unique content, you will 2 to 50x the amount of money you make from these funnels. It's just sets you apart from the rest of the crowd. Every other agent in your market, 90% of them have similar tools at their disposal. Most of them aren't actually using the tools. Not a lot of them are, and almost nobody is once a week sitting down and saying, what kind of value can I provide to these leads that I have in my database? So,
right.
Yeah. Examples would be a deal of the week, a video tour of a property, invite them to a webinar, property search link of the week. You could do a video or just a blog post about a featured neighborhood or a featured business. You could interview a local resident, one of your friends or family, have them share it around. We have a great, I did an interview with my buddy Michael Sharkey, who's a podcast coach in the Next Level members area, about doing podcasts and interviewing people. You can send PDF reports, financing tips, invite people to open houses and invites. I know Kelly does community events, right? Garage sales and things of that nature. Just whatever you can do to engage people around unique content or events is really going to set you apart. And kvCORE makes it really easy to kind of get this content out there. You just need to go to the Smart CRM. Where'd it go? Everything moved.
Are you looking for the scheduled mass email?
Yeah, let me show that first.
So yeah, I was going to say marketing, all marketing.
Yep. So let's just say I've got a
maybe it's a shred event that's coming up annually or biannually.
Yeah, there's an event coming up. I can go right in here and send an email about it to everybody in my list, like tomorrow, Saturday morning. You could do So if you're doing fixers and foreclosures, to give this a little more focus, This is something I used to do in Philly. Every Saturday morning, I would email everybody a video property tour. It was about 5 minutes of a vacant fixer-upper. And so you could record that video anytime during the week. Maybe Monday morning, you have it in your calendar. You go find a vacant fixer, you take the video, and you go in here and you schedule it, and it goes out every Saturday, at the same time through kvCORE. So.
And the cool thing about this, I know Ryan was speaking to like different types of filters that you save, right? You can actually identify and create filtered groups in your smart CRM and then use those groups as your addressee list to send out that specific data or information in your scheduled mass email. So they can all be looped in and married to each other to send out that messaging.
Yeah. So you can see up here, I have my 727 deals. That's kind of like my fixer and foreclosure bucket. So once a week, I can go in here for that niche. Maybe I eventually am working 2 or 3 niches, and I say, okay, here's all these people. I'm going to check them off, and I'll do a mass text, or I could just do a video message or a mass email straight for kvCORE. So, Hector's asking, is there a limit to the number of emails sent at once? I don't know.
Yes. Here's what I would recommend. If you're going to do, and I think right now, like it's if you look to that upper right-hand side underneath add contact, right underneath save the property, right, just a little further down. There you go, right there. Right below that, there's that row where it says 250 rows, right? That means you're going to get 250 contacts per row. You can email a total of 250 people right here. If you're going to email more than 250, use the scheduled mass email tool, because it can send out batches in the thousands.
Great.
So just know which tools. So if it's something quick, like boom, boom, and a quick out, send out this quick little message or text or email, use your filter, use your quick text, quick email. But if it's going to be something purposeful for a mass amount more than 250, use your scheduled mass email.
I learn something new every day.
I know. I mean, I'm here for you, caller.
Okay, great. So scheduled mass emails, but basically to round out your funnel, to make sure it's really working for you, create this something cool. Now, the advantage of creating these something cool things is that you can then take that content and you can start to use it in these other elements. For example, we do this regularly around here. You'll see on Facebook ads about specific kvCORE features following you around the web. So if you did a video about a specific technique for buying an investment property, that could be a retargeting ad. You could also put that content into a smart campaign, right? If it's evergreen enough, you just drop it into your smart campaign. So anybody coming in later will see that dripped out to them. So just keep that in mind. Lots of benefits to creating content. We talk a lot about different kinds of content you can create in the members area for next level. So that kind of rounds it out, guys. We're coming up on the hour.
That went fast.
Yeah, it was fast. Did we miss any questions?
I don't think so. I was responding on all 3 as we went. I think I'm caught up here. I know Robert sent you the picture of the popcorn. We have Hector who's going, okay, I got this. I'm gonna sleep well, and it's gonna osmosisize in me, which is kind of how I learned kvCORE myself.
Yeah.
And I think my biggest thing that I always tell people is don't get upset with yourself if you feel like you're not learning it all right now. Take it one tool at a time and just back off that expectation of yourself of why didn't I know I needed to know this before I needed to know it, kind of thing. So relax, take it a tool at a time, and always ask questions if you have.
Yep, definitely. So another request for the slides. It is case sensitive. It all needs to be lowercase, I think. So I'll just drop it to everybody. Try to get my lower cases in here. So yeah, just a little bit of a recap and some pointers. Definitely, as Annalisa just said, don't get overwhelmed. Just start with one niche, one simple offer, one traffic source. I'm going to work new construction. I'm going to make a landing page, and I'm going to start sharing that landing page on Facebook every day with my friends and family. It can be as simple as that. Keep in mind that buyer side offers can get you seller leads. We didn't talk about this. But this activity of working around a specific niche and generating a lot of traffic, you will naturally get homeowners in your market into your net, and all the things you're doing on the follow-up front will kind of surface them, will generate conversations that do lead to listings.
Right.
Schedule some time daily to work and optimize this. We are all running our own businesses here, and you got to leave time for marketing. So I think the best top producers are probably spending almost half their day actually marketing. If you really ask them what they're doing, they're thinking.
And that includes marketing in preparing for who doesn't have search alerts, who doesn't have a market report, who doesn't have a smart campaign. So it's like PPC marketing and your internal communication that markets the listings to them to bring them back to your site.
Yeah, I forgot to drop that link, the PDF version of this.
Thank you.
Definitely schedule time to become more expert at your niche focus. So, one big one will be if you decide you're going to do fixers or new construction or starter homes, you're going to want to schedule time every week to actually tour those types of properties so that you master the market, and then read books, attend webinars like these, of course. We have a tool, the calculator, talks a little bit about the numbers behind all this. Just know that it works if you do this at scale. If you can generate 100, say you can generate 1,000 leads in the next year and you get a 1% conversion rate, real estate is such that the numbers just plain work. The commission, the transaction sides are high enough commission wise that for most of the traffic sources we mentioned today, it will ROI for you nicely. And then, just don't forget, we are always doing webinars like this. Keep an eye on the training link in the top right of your kvCORE dashboard. And if you want, very soft pitch, we do, supplemental info related to this. We do in the Next Level Mastermind members area. It's in the marketplace. It's linked from the coaching session. And for those of you who are members, just thank you for being patient with us. Generally, guys, this was kind of launching our new session here at the new time, and we kind of opened it up and invited everybody to kind of get a look at kind of the basic flow. But I hope there was some value here for existing members. And generally what we do for everybody who's not a member is we'll do a new concept. We'll kind of dig deeper on one of the things we mentioned today or something else related to growing your business. We'll spend 10, 20, maybe 30 minutes on a new concept. And then we use the balance of the hour to just take questions and kind of brainstorm and go back and forth with members. So
and I'm excited about tomorrow's.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So you want to tell everybody what we got on in store for tomorrow?
Yeah. So tomorrow we're going to have a guest back that we had on in 2019. His name is Damian Hall, and he is a luxury equine and luxury estate, even island broker now. So in the past 2 years, he's gone from getting into luxury equine estates, and that became his niche, right? And now he's built his own brokerage and does just clearly everything is equestrian or islands. It's incredible. But he's going to speak to us how he has used and leveraged social media, kvCORE, and all of these tools to help build up the business and his brand and marketing. So I think that's going to be a really great discussion with him. It's always fun to talk with him and see where things are headed. He is out of Greenville. So I'm excited to have him back. So we're going to click a nay with Damian Hall. It's the corniest thing ever, but I love it.
So that'll be the same time tomorrow, guys, 4 p.m. East. We do these Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. If you signed up for this session, you probably have the link for tomorrow already, and you'll get the invite. And that's about it, I think.
Yeah. So I look forward to seeing everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Kelly, for being here. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. See you later.
Bye.